Today I want to make a video about think of your progress, not your destination, because I've noticed that a lot of people tend to, when they want to become rich, when they want to, get into this lifestyle of, getting into the entrepreneur business and wanting to, become better, you know what I'm saying, be at the top of the food chain, be get millions of dollars and become the best version of themselves, just straight up just a beast, right? But one thing, and there's four things that I've noticed about becoming into this journey, because me myself, I'm becoming an entrepreneur, I'm developing myself, I'm becoming a multimillionaire, and I've noticed there is one thing that I want you guys to understand is why. Figure out why you're starting your business, because mostly a lot of people just want to get rich, just to get the cars, the women, the houses, the luxury stuff, just some materialistic things. And I've noticed that as soon as I started figuring out why I was doing this, because first I wanted to do the Lambo, the cars, all the watches, the money, the jewelry. Like I literally wanted to get all that just because of trading. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to do. But now I'm asking you, why are you doing what you're doing? Is it because you just want to get the materialistic things, or is it because you want to actually build yourself and actually become, like something bigger than most people? You know what I'm saying? Because most people just get the money and just cars and just they don't really fucking do anything with it. You know what I'm saying? They just have it. You know what I'm saying? Just to brag about it. But wouldn't it be cool by actually getting rich? You help out your family, you help out your community, you actually build people and you help people out. You build a business that helps people make money, so you don't have to be stingy about it, you don't have to be greedy, you don't have to, your ego doesn't control you. Figure out your why, because as soon as you start figuring out why, bro, your mind will start to shift different. You start to think more precisely on your decisions on spending money, or anything, just that involves about money. Once you figure out your why, ladies and gentlemen, you should do what you love to do, because by default you get more in return, right? Because I love to trade, I love to just make videos. I like to really just make these types of different diagrams and just show you guys the concepts. And I like to be creative in my own way, you know what I'm saying? And by doing this, most of you guys are seeing my creation, most of you guys are seeing, the videos I'm posting and all this shit. Like, bro, it's cool because I'm getting myself known, and I love what to do. Okay, and I just build a little, picture, and this is a focus on the progress, not profits. Because if you really think about it, this is wisdom and growth, and this is the time. Okay, we all have time. We all have time. Whether you may say you don't got time for this, you don't got time for that, you can make it. You could always make time. You could always push shit to the side. People like to make excuses that how they don't have fucking time to do this and that. It's like, bro, do you want to get rich or not? Do you really want to be the best version of yourself or not? It's all just a decision that you have to make. It's not me, it's you. You know what I'm saying? You can watch millions of fucking YouTube videos all you want, but the real question is, are you actually putting in the work that you need to put in? Because look, compound progress. Compounded progress. You start learning, and you start disciplining, and you start building habits. You do this shit more over time. You stick to these things. You just stick to your disciplines. You're focusing on your work, and you're not partying. You're just locked in. The more year you start to do that, the more you start to get compound interest, the more you start to grow as a person, the more you grow. And with most people, I am starting to see, like, bro, these people are getting rich young, and they're on this surface level of gains. They're not actually growing. They're just getting all this fucking money and just being stupid with it. Getting money is one thing, but actually maintaining it is on a whole new different level, bro. Maintaining money is a fucking different hard shit. You gotta match that shit, bro. And it's really hard to do that, because when you start making a couple thousand, couple 100,000, then a million, then it's hard to maintain money, because, bro, the world will offer you, and the world will fucking give you so many offers to buy this, buy that. Oh, you need to do this, like, bro. That's what happens when a lot of entrepreneurs, start getting into this world about money. But once you figure out your why, you begin to work, okay? Because look, this is your work, right? My work is, trading stocks, and, just that's my stuff, you know what I'm saying? But work shouldn't be enjoyable at first, but over time you get to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, okay? And I've noticed that this is very true. Sometimes I didn't even want to fucking trade. Sometimes I didn't even want to fucking, upload, because I thought my videos were stupid. Or sometimes that I just didn't want to upload because I'll be so self-conscious about myself, you know what I'm saying? But if you think about it, I just started getting comfortable. I'm like, fuck it, bro. Who gives a fuck about whatever the fuck people talk about me? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? So I just got rid of the fear. I got rid of everything, bro. And I just started uploading content. I just pushing. Because think about it, 90% of your content is gonna be straight shit. Realistically speaking, it's gonna be shit. But something about that is that, like, the more you upload, the more you upgrade your videos, the more you start to be, present yourself different, the more you talk different, the more you speak different, the more you work on the lighting, you know what I'm saying? Like, it all just, you adjust over time, bro. And it's very true. Because if you really think about it, this is you. This is your difficulty and this is the comfort, right? It's gonna be difficult once you start anything in life, bro. I don't give a fuck what the fuck it is. Fucking playing basketball, learning how to play video games. Like, think about it. In any video game, you always start off at level 1. Everything. Unless you have a little cheat code, but usually at the majority of the games, you start off at level 1. You know what I'm saying? And by that, you build up. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like there is no cheap way for you to get rich. I mean, there is like crypto and all that shit. Like, if you think about it, if you get rich at a young age and you just don't know what to do with it, you start buying stupid shit and you just lose yourself in the process. And if anything, it'll make you even worse if you had $100,000 at a young age and then blew it all. Because then now your mindset's gonna be fucked. Your mindset's gonna be like, oh damn. Because I've noticed that most people when they get money, they really start getting like they get excited. You know what I'm saying? Well, obviously you should get excited, right? Once you get your first 100K, when you first get your $1,000, 50,000. But if you think about it, it's just money. He didn't really conquer anything, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, like Alexander the Great, bro, and Genghis Khan and all these other people that really controlled and ruled nations. Like, bro, that's some G shit right there. But it's just fucking money, you know what I'm saying? Fall in love with the work in progress, bro. Fall in love with your company. Fall in love with what you love to do, because by default, you get more money than you ever imagined. Like, think about it. If you were to just lock in and then you glanced at your balance, like, oh, I have 100K, and then you start, maintaining the 100K instead of you just working and working and working. You get rid of the fucking money. You don't worry about money. You just keep working, working, working. That 100K is gonna be $1 million by the time you even think about it. You know what I'm saying? So fall in love with the work that you do. It's gonna be difficult, but over time, it's gonna get, it's gonna get easy. Okay, and once you figure out your work, this is the part where you start to fight. And what you fight is distractions and laziness. And once you start to, maintain the workflow, because you're going to get this idea in the middle of the night. You just get this really great idea, right? Like maybe you want to become a trader. Maybe you want to become, an influencer. Maybe you want to be something in life, right? In the middle of the night, you're going to have two things that are going to get you: distraction and laziness, okay? Because once you start something, the momentum is there. But then over time, it decays because you're not motivated anymore. Then you just lose yourself. But the difficult part is not starting. It's continuing to push yourself to your limits and understanding more about yourself. Because the more you understand about yourself, the more you start to unlock doors that you never even knew that were even there. And that's the crazy part. Because think about it, right? This is you. No, this is you right now, and what you're trying to become, right? Maybe it's not this business, dude, but maybe it's your business, or maybe it's something that you like, or maybe something that you want, right? But the majority of I'm just giving this example because I'm on the journey on becoming an entrepreneur. So this was me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm walking through this little door. I'm not there yet, but I'm like cracking my way in now. You know what I'm saying? Because I was literally fat. I was lazy. I didn't really, I talked about trading, but I wasn't really serious, right? I was, half-assing everything. But now that I'm, you know, getting older and I'm realizing about life, I'm like, damn, bro, I really gotta get this shit really to going. I gotta push more content. I gotta be better. You know what I'm saying? Like every single day, bro, I really want to be I really want to become better every single day. You know what I'm saying? But ladies and gentlemen, understand more about yourself and you will really unlock a lot of doors, bro. Because there's so many shit that I didn't know about myself. Like, bro, I really am pushing myself to the limits, man, and it feels good too, because I notice it, people around me notice it, and it's kind of crazy how you evolve as a different person, bro, and people criticize you for that, which is pretty interesting. But once you get rid of the laziness and distractions, you start to become a different person, the real you. And this is a real you, okay? And this is where you will question and figure out if this is what you really want. Well, think about it, okay? I want you guys to really understand this part, okay? Really understand this part right here, is that a lot of entrepreneurs get this money and they get this lifestyle, right? They live in these fancy hotels, they live in these fancy, apartments, and they have everything, but they don't have everything. You know what I'm saying? They're empty inside. You know what I'm saying? And what I've noticed about a lot of entrepreneurs is that it's like I feel like most of them regret it. It's not, and it's not because they regret the lifestyle. They regret on who they became. Because if you think about it, if you were to get money and you had a shitty fucking personality, if you were a dick to people, and if you're a dick that has money that just disrespects a whole bunch of people, but you lose all your friends in the process, you don't even have a girlfriend, you're just distant from everybody because nobody wants to hang around with you. This is where a lot of entrepreneurs don't really talk about, and it's kind of crazy because I've noticed that, like, damn, a lot of people are depressed with fucking having money and all this bullshit because they never understood and they never became the best version of themselves first, because you need to become broke. You need to absolutely lose everything in life, bro. Well, not absolutely, not everything in life, but you need to understand, how losing things. You know what I'm saying? You need to understand how failures work in your life, bro. Because damn, like I'm noticing, like all these people got rich in a whole year, which is completely possible. You can really get rich in one whole year, but if you do that, you just get the money, but you don't really learn anything about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yes, you learn about a skill, but you need self development, self learning about who you are. You know what I'm saying? And then, like the money that you get is just you start to you just pretty much see life differently if you do that. You know what I'm saying? Figure out yourself first, and then get your money. You know what I'm saying? Because I started getting the money without figuring out myself first, and then from by default I got money, and then I was being retarded with it, and then I was being stupid. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build myself up, being the best version of myself first, and then over time I'm gonna get that money and become smarter and invest it and become a billionaire from that. You know what I mean? Because my mindset now I'm becoming a billionaire, not a millionaire, because everyone's a millionaire, but very few people are billionaires. You know what I'm saying? And once you're a billionaire, that's where the big boys are. And I'm trying to be a big boy. All these, what I'm saying? Oh, I'm a millionaire. I get man, most people are millionaires, bro, but very few people are billionaires, man. I'm trying to be in that billionaire status, man. Like, bro, you guys see me coming from nothing, man, but in a couple years from now, bro, you guys will literally see my face everywhere. I'm trying to be cocky or braggy, but you guys will remember me, bro, because I really am. I really want to change the whole world, bro. I really want to, you know, just help people out that never really came from nothing. You know what I'm saying? That really understood poverty. That really understood that, like, it really is hard to get money if you don't have anything, bro. And I want to create a system that if you don't have money, if you don't know what to do in your life, bro, I'm going to create something that you can become somebody in life. And I don't know what it is, but I'm still in the process of becoming this version of myself that want to show you, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to take a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort, you know what I mean? But in the meantime, I'm going to keep pursuing these videos. I'm going to keep making these different types of diagrams. I'm going to keep showing you guys that it's possible. And you guys are pretty much watching history in the making. You know what I'm saying? So hope you guys did like this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Peace.